For a lot of people, credit cards is one of the scariest things that they could think about. And for the longest time, I was one of those people. I knew that I wanted to have a great credit score, and I knew that credit cards is a part of actually building my credit. But that's what also made me scared about them, because the information I would hear about credit cards would be that you gotta use it for a rainy day, only for emergencies only, for gas or some food or whatever it is that you need at that moment and you have no other option. And we hear it all the time about how much credit card debt a lot of people rack up, and they never really get the chance to pay it off because credit cards have really high interest rates. So when you just paying a minimum payment or whatever it is, it's really set up in a way where you start to fall behind more and more as time goes on. So that scared me. So when I first got any credit cards, I still was using a debit card, and I would only use my credit card so that it could stay active. But I was making sure I just made super small purchases on those credit cards. But then I was curious, it's gotta be more about these credit cards that I don't know about, because I started hearing about a lot of people who would only use credit cards as opposed to using any type of debit cards. And that's when I started learning about cashback rewards and welcome bonuses and how much it can actually help your credit score if you know how to use it properly. When we hear about cashback rewards, a lot of people have the argument that you only get about 1.5% on certain purchases, and they make the argument that it doesn't make much sense when you could just use a debit card for that transaction. But for most debit cards, you don't get any cashback rewards. So I always look at it as, even if I'm making 5 cents on a credit card transaction, if I use my debit card that has no cashback reward at all, I didn't make anything back. So it's a simple decision for me. If I'm gonna spend this money, if it's a bill that I have to pay or it's groceries or whatever it is, something that I'm gonna spend anyway, it's an easy decision for me to go ahead and use the card that's gonna pay me money to make that transaction. And depending on how you use these reward points, you can use it towards that transaction that you just made. So it's like you got money off of that one transaction, or you could just let it build up. And over time, you'll be able to use those reward points and basically get things for free. That's why using a cash rewards credit card is always a no-brainer to me versus using a debit card, because I always say, if I don't have the money in my bank account, I'm not going to use that credit card anyway. So I'm always able to stay on top of whatever balance I have on my credit card. Cashback rewards is a cheat code, and it saved me a lot of money when I'm using my credit card versus using a debit card. The biggest hack when it comes to using credit cards is the fact that they have a welcome bonus. And what a welcome bonus is that when you get a new credit card, it'll tell you that if you spend a certain amount of money within a certain time period, they'll give you a certain amount of points, which is equal to a certain dollar amount, rather it's $200, $100, whatever it is. And to explain how this welcome bonus could be a big hack to save anybody money, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all a story about how a credit card got me a $700 camera for only $400. Y'all know that I'm always trying to up my quality when it comes to making content. When I started YouTube, I was using my phone to record, but I wanted to up my quality, so I started looking at cameras, watching tutorials, what's the best camera. And when I found the camera that I liked, it ended up being $700. Now at the time, I was actually looking to get a new credit card, and the credit card I decided to go with was the Chase Freedom Unlimited credit card. So I started looking into the welcome bonus, and what I saw was that if you spend over $500 in the first 3 to 6 months, I believe, of opening that credit account, they would give you 20,000 points, which was equal to $200. And then my girl already had that credit card, so she found that if she refers somebody, she automatically gets $100. So then the wheels start turning. Okay, I want this camera, and I also want to get a new credit card. So how about she refer me to get this credit card, and when I get this credit card, she gets $100, and when I buy this camera for over $500, I then get a $200 welcome bonus. And then we put that 100 and 200 together. I went ahead and bought this $700 camera for only $400, and I also got cash back rewards on that transaction. So if you do the math, I ended up getting this camera for under $400, and that's all because I played my cards right when it came to using this credit card. Now once again, when it comes to using credit cards, I knew that I had the money in my bank account, so I was able to pay that balance off, and it wasn't just going to carry over. And even if I didn't pay it off that month, most credit cards give you a time period where when you first open an account, they might give you 12, 15, 18 months of no interest at all. So that was another bonus for me at that time. But I went ahead and paid it off, and I was able to get this camera that if I didn't get that credit card, I would have paid $700. But since I used that credit card, I was able to get it for under $400. The next hack when it comes to credit cards and how it saves you so much money is the fact that disputes is resolved super fast. If you have an unauthorized unauthorized charge on your debit card, you go ahead and call and you dispute that charge. But that money already came out of your bank account. So however long it takes for them to resolve that issue, this is time going past where you don't have that money that somebody spent on your account. You might need that money. If you have an unauthorized charge on your credit card, you go ahead and call that company, they resolve it super fast. And one of the biggest ways that this really helps is the fact that it didn't come out of your bank account yet. You didn't pay that balance yet. So while they're resolving that issue, even if it takes a couple days, that money is still in your bank account, so you still have access to that money. It's not really hurting you. I heard a quote about credit cards that went, if you walking down a dark alley where you know people get robbed, would you rather have your own money in your pocket, or would you rather have somebody else's money in your pocket? Would you rather have your debit card in your pocket, or would you rather have a credit card in your pocket so that it's somebody else's money and you can go ahead and dispute that charge immediately? Credit cards is the way to go when it comes to disputing unauthorized charges on your account, because the money never left your pocket. It's the bank's money, so they're most likely going to go ahead and resolve that issue faster than if it was your debit card and that money came out of your bank account. So if y'all follow these credit card hacks, I guarantee that you're going to save a lot of money. You're going to make money on purchases that you just wouldn't have before. And as long as you use it right, for when you making these transactions, you able to pay that balance right back. Your credit score is going to go way up, and you're going to get these welcome bonuses, and you're going to get these cashback rewards. And you're going to be happy that you made the transition from using debit cards to using credit cards for every single transaction, and it's going to make a big difference. If you're looking for more money hacks on how you can make more money and save more money, make sure you go ahead and watch this video right here, because I give y'all 5 money tips to help people go from broke to rich. So make sure y'all tap in. Let's get rich.
He got an alibi and he won't abide to no law. I know it's fucked up, but he won't hesitate to go send a nigga to a law. Young nigga with rag ties in the back of a Maybach. Put in work, whole fam gon' eat. I've been going to work on eat. All grind, no sleep, I stay low key. And you know I be rolling with killers, they really gorillas. Only the realest, you know that we winning. I feel like I